Okay. Good evening. This is it at last. Woo! We've finally got some Wi-Fi and we've got some live. We did think to begin with that people would not be able to see what's going on. Good evening. And now I feel really fired up because obviously we've just made a video for you. Easy there with the camera, easy. Right, so since you've been away in the absence just for a moment, we've made the video for you, the beginning part, so you can rewind that back and see what's going on. Instead, let's go on with the haircut, because I really just want to get into cutting this. I've been dying to do this haircut. So, great pleasure tonight to be here, recorded live from Scott Bailey Hairdressing, and we are live tonight with the beautiful Helen Bailey.
Hello.
Spelt completely different to my spelling of Bailey, but it's very kind of Helen to be here as a model. Also, we're very proud to be sponsored by Muck Hair Care tonight from Australia. Thank you very much. Also, thanks to my dad for doing the filming. We've started to prepare the haircut, but what we're going to do is we're just going to rewind back into that. We'll use some Muck blowout mousse because we're going for volume tonight with the haircut, and we'll be using a graduated bob shape with a few different things, i.e. raised layers. We'll also be using scissors and a few other bits and bobs and electric clippers. It's going to be that type of thing that we're going to be working. So as Hannah said earlier on when she visited me in the salon today, she said it's that type of thing. So tonight it is that type of thing. We are going to make it special, we are going to make it interesting, even though we are some 35 minutes behind, but I'm sure that you will enjoy tonight's third presentation out of 7, because of course we're doing 7 here live from the salon. So we hope you really enjoy tonight. Let's get into the haircut. So we're going to be using Fat Muck Blowout Mousse tonight, which is the sculpting foam that we're going to use in here. As I always say, a haircut starts at the very beginning with the lotion. Now obviously this lotion contains conditioner. As with many, if you put it into a glass, it basically displaces then at the bottom and turns into conditioner. Hair generally is like a fabric. I tend to find that obviously we want to be able to mould the fabric into the shape we want. This then starts the game off, because I do think hairdressing is like a game. What you'll find is that it also enables you to see the natural fall in the hair. So as I'm cutting it, I can move it around and see how the haircut moves, which is nice. The exciting thing about tonight, is that I've never cut Helen's hair before, so it's quite exciting because it's a fresh haircut, the same as Ian's haircut that I did last week. That was exactly the same. It was a fresh haircut. Nikki Gower's next week, the model that will be with us, she'll also be a fresh haircut. So it's great because, as I said, it's live, and it's also an opportunity for me to do something that's challenging and showcase here at the salon what we can do live and direct for you. To those of you that have just joined us, welcome. We'll probably be cutting now for about the next 20-22 minutes. For those of you that are putting your children to bed, or you've got your wife or husband cooking food for you. We'll then come into the blow dry, which we'll be using an array of products which we've got here. If you just take a little look to the side, you'll see we're going to be using some conditioner tonight, Muck conditioner. We'll also be using some spray. We'll be coming into it with gentleman's paste to do the blow dry. We'll also be using slick muck pomade at the end, and we'll also be going into it with a diffuser to finish off. So again, it's most people go into smooth looks. We're going to be finishing off tonight with a very curly finish. As I said earlier on, we'll be using a razor blade and a few other bits. Again, looking at the bones that are in the skull, we're working tonight here from the apex through to the occipital bone. Again, the nice thing is the product allows us to keep the haircut nice and clean. Again, because as I said to the girls that were working with me today on work experience, it's all about the attention to detail, which is very important. So all I'm doing now is really just setting the cut up first, and then I'll explain to you how I'm going to do this. For those of you that joined us on the first haircut, we did a razor cut variation of this haircut, which again with a razor cut is really nice because it makes it very soft. I'm going to bring the razor into this haircut very shortly, but I want to do a majority of this with a pair of scissors just to show you. To begin with, cutting through the comb, it's a nice straight line, you can get a really good line off it, and then we'll go straight into the layers. I'm just going to show you very quickly the layering system that we're going to use, then I'll then get into the cut. Okay, let's have a quick look. So when we do the layers in the back very shortly, we'll be using the legs of a spider. Okay, it's that sort of thing that when you look at it, you've got 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then the body will move as we do that. Now, for those hairdressers that are watching tonight, what generally happens is it takes the corner off. These haircuts, when we do the layering, you would pull it back traditionally into the back of the hair, which is into the occipital bone, the protruding bone that's in the back of the skull, and then it would then naturally fall forward. This time we're going to take the corners off, and you will find that the shape will then be more stronger through this part behind the ear, which then makes the haircut look stronger, thus making it a little bit more personalised to what we're doing here tonight. Let's get some scissors. It's always exciting. I always remember when I did the first haircut in the kitchen. I did my mum's hair. I always remember doing that haircut, as I'm sure we all do, when you just combed it all down and did the cut and thought this is really easy, and there's just a massive chunk of hair as you were cutting it in the blade, and then the haircut ended up going like that, like this some kind of wavy sort of haircut. And of course we went to hairdressing school and it all just became apparent what it was all about. Obviously you take it in sections, keeping it clean. The smaller the section, the cleaner it is. So let's have a little look at what we're doing here. We're working in 3 sections. So we're looking at subdividing the haircut into 3 parts. Obviously we're working on a geometrical shape. The beautiful thing about a comb is that you can actually use the comb to create the actual angle that you want. So let's just place that on now, put the scissors on and create a really nice line. Okay. Then literally the beauty of doing the 3rd section is you can actually alter this to whatever pitch you want it to be at. So you can see now I've got the part I want it to go, I can go deeper with it or higher. So some people tend to cut through the fingers. I prefer doing this. It's an old Tony and Guy trick that I used to do. Now you can see the shape instantly starts to create itself, and you can see that line starting to appear, which again is very, very important. If you cannot get the angle particularly perfect, all you do then is flick it over and then just pop your scissors on there and cut. Okay, coming through to the other side now. As we come into this now, remember this line here, this section denotes the angle I'm going to be cutting at. So again, I'm coming down at that angle. That now tells me if it was a more of a horizontal section, it would be more of a horizontal section, but what I really need is that angle. So again, let's just come in there, take that section out. That just gives us the shape. So you can see I'm now really using this comb as the ruler to create the shape. Again, something very, very different. We'll be exploring more bob shapes later in this series of haircuts. When we explore probably number 5 it will be, when we do Claire Sproson's hair. That's going to be more of a 1-length bob with a few layers, which then you'll see there'll be a difference on there with that. So again, getting back to what we're doing now, it's very visual. I tend to keep the haircut as clean as I can while it's wet, in the wet relationship of the haircut, but you can see that bend that's coming in there now, which is what we're really after. Okay, moving up the head. We're now going into the upper occipital bone through to the mastoid process. Mastoid process is the bone behind the ear. Okay, so that now again is just keep the section clean. I'll just come around to this side, just move my dad out of the way. Thanks, Dad. So we'll now just get these sections in. These are the last few sections on the back before we then go into the sides, which then keeps it cleaner. Again, we've got to keep it so it's really, really clean tonight on the cut, because when I come to do hi, that's it. Obviously, it just keeps it a lot more cleaner. So when we come to do the finish, we can really sort of see what's happening on here. Okay. So again, replicating what we've just done, and you can just sort of see that shape. Many years ago, I did a video sassoon cutting course as well when I was working with some previous employers. It's all parts that all cross over. The nice thing is, when you get taught basics that are really, really good fundamentals, it's like building foundations in a house. I think I said last week. You're laying down the blue bricks, which is the foundation. That's what we're doing now. Come around here. That's it. Thank you. Over my shoulder. Hi there. Camera two, camera two. So you'll find that through laying down the blue bricks, it makes it so then you're able to then sort of create that base, which is really important. And then the orange bricks will be the layers that will go over the top. Okay. Dad was getting a bit upset earlier because he was thinking, oh no, what am I going to do, because we can't go live. fortunately, well, we seem to get a window, so that's really good. If for any reason the broadband goes down tonight, if it goes down tonight, what we'll do is we will reset the camera on the phone, so bear with us. We'll reset it, and then what we'll do then is we'll come back on. So for those of you that are staying on with us, that's what we'll do, because I know for the last 2 weeks we've had a few technical problems, even more so tonight because it's just been one of those nights. Probably it's the atmosphere, but still we're here, which is good. So finishing off with the line in the back, just keeping that nice and clean. Just bring your camera around, Dad, so we can just see the back. That's it. Through my eyes, that's it. You can just see the line appearing. So we've now got a bit of geometrical shape coming in. So now I'm going to change over to the other side. I can get that shape really strong. What I should do then afterwards is put the layers in through this top part here, which will be like a graduated bob, as I said, taking those corners off, which most people will be thinking to themselves, you know, that's quite daring to take a corner off. But as for those of you that have been taught by me in the past, you'll know the way I work, that when you actually come in to take a corner off, it creates a stronger shape. So that's again what it's all about. Okay, so we're now going to come through to the sides. This time we work from the centre point of the apex, which is this part here on the top. Then moving it through past the parietal ridge, which is that bone just there, and then we end up here on the recession area, which is this part just here. What you tend to find is that with this section in pattern, it works a little bit better. Most people use a horizontal section in the sides. That's fine if that works for you. I tend to find that using this technique, it really sort of makes the whole side glide better. So you may want to try it. If you've never tried it, please try it, see how you get on with it. Like people say, try it before you buy it. Okay, let's go through the sides. So now, again, using the comb, you can use it as a measuring device. You can see, as like a ruler, you can see the shape coming in, and it's that type of thing. As it moves, just slightly at an angle, you can get your scissors in there and really get that shape strong. Now remember, we're leaving it long at the front as we're coming through. Some people are probably thinking they're large scissors, what you're using tonight. They are in fact 8.5 inch blades that I'm using. The idea being that really you can cut this in one go if you want to. So I could just hold it and just go, and it's gone. You can see the shape now coming through. It creates a beautiful line. If you just come from a side view, Dad, you can just see that shape coming through there nicely. So we're just working through. Now we're going to go into the next part. Let's bring that down. There probably won't be anything that reaches, but as I'm sure most people know, the cleaner you work, the better the haircut. So sometimes you might just have a few strands. It's better just to take those strands off, then you know you've really gone through it as like a checklist in your head. I tend to think of, whilst I'm talking to guests, as with all of you when you're working in the daytime, that you've got a checklist going on in your head and just checking things off. The funny thing is, a lot of clients that come to the salon, guests, they actually said, I didn't realise there was that much that goes on in a haircut. Most people do not, because as a hairdresser, you have got it all going on in your head as you're busy talking, which in a man's case, that's multitasking. Which don't multitask that well. Okay, so we connect things up. Okay, so let's just go through here. Back on the stairs, my man, back on the stairs. So we're just going to go through the sides now and just cut this through. So we're now just bringing the line in and making that from short to long, and that again just creates the shape. You can see there's a bit of kink just on the end here. Again, that just creates a really nice shape with it. And then of course when we come to do the blow dry, it's all going to go wavy later, so you'll see that appear. Okay, so we've now got the bob shape, which is what we needed to start with. Put your check through the mirror. Okay, now we're going to change to implement and go over to a razor. So again,